I was kind of pissed off as well that like all of these kids are like 13, 14.
Yeah.
I was like, why not? Why? Just make them 17. It would make this story so much more.
But isn't it weird that you
make
felt
so
that?
Make so much more sense.
But here's the thing. Isn't it weird that you felt that about that show, and yet you see Hanayama Kaoru, who's 14 years old, you're like, perfectly understandable. Have a nice day.
Because it makes, if for some reason, it checks out. Like, I'm like,
It's so weird how it checks out, though.
I don't doubt it, right?
Yeah.
Because Baki never asks me once to like actually believe this world is a real world.
Yeah.
It just completely is like, listen, bro. This is literally like the equivalent of an internet forum like debate where like you're like, can Goku beat Saitama? Like that is Baki, right? Like it never once asks you to be invested in this world.
That's true.
Whereas like Tokyo Revengers for me felt like it was trying to get me to get invested in the gangs and the culture and stuff. And it's like, but at the same time, how are you gonna make me believe that this is how 13-year-old and 14-year-olds react, that they drive motorcycles, they do all this shit, and it's like they're willing to like rob and kill each other. Listen, if you made these kids 18, they can still be in school.
Yeah.
All of this would still make sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, just do that. Why?
Well, that's like basically 90% of anime where it's like they don't need to be that age because nobody actually their age actually acts like them.
This is one where I actually felt like it was to a massive detriment that they were like super young. And this every single plot
Because
point
it just
in
made
this
it
story,
unbelievable, right?
not so unbelievable, but like it made it so to the fact that you're like, it's constantly asking you to just have this level of disbelief, and to give it like, okay, I guess this is how 14-year-olds would react and respond to this situation. And it's like, just add on 4 years. They're still in school. This can work in college. It all still works. The universe totally works.
It can work when you're an adult as well.
And now they can ride motorcycles, no question about it. This is in Japan.
Yeah.
No one is breaking the law in Japan. People don't even like... The only law they break is stealing umbrellas. That's literally it. That's all they do. They don't do that. That's all they do.
Yeah, pretty much.
No one is going to... How the fuck are they going to get a motorcycle at 13 here?
I feel like when I, like, the last time I felt that, like, when I felt like the characters just weren't acting their age at all, was when I watched Erase.
I was going to say...
Erase was just like, man, these 5-year-olds... How old were they? Like 5, 6,
They're like 9,
They're like 9-year-olds acting like 3...
They're like, yes, using the forms of relativity and quantum mechanics, we can actually predict when we will re-enter into space-time continuum.
They were, like, more capable than, like veteran detectives in the force and all this shit, and I'm just like, bro, these are like 9-year-olds and they're acting like grown adults.
That's why I just couldn't get into Erase. There's the exact same thing where I'm like, this 9-year-old like girl is like solving mysteries that like fucking 30-year veterans couldn't fucking crack.
I know we've ranted about this before and stuff, and that we've talked all about the age and stuff, and I do understand that like a lot of shows I don't give a fuck. Like it's totally fine.
It's fiction. It's whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like again, there are some shows like Erased where I feel like doing this is just completely to the detriment of the show, and it makes you suspend belief beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's a lot of
one of the shows where I'm
that,
like, this is just stupid.
I mean, like, there's also like Your Lie in April as well, where a big thing that took me out of the show is like, I feel like they were in middle school or something, right? I think they're 14, 15, but like everyone talks like a fucking poet. You know, everyone.
The writing needs to match the age. I don't give a shit if you put them in the school. You got to write 13-year-olds like 13-year-olds.
Dude, Corsair was talking like fucking Mozart was back then, you know, and it's like, dude, you're 15. When I was 15, all I was thinking about was poo poo pee pee. Like,
that's all I think about now.
That's all I think about now, you know. So you are way more sophisticated than you should be for a 15-year-old.
Yeah. Like this guy like came out of the womb speaking in sonnets and all this shit. Like he was studying Shakespeare by the age of 3. Like my god, like that took me out so much. And it was a small thing, but it was just like you could have easily made them at a higher age to make them feel like they were, you know, they had the ability to speak like this. But it was just they were 14 years old, and that was the biggest thing that worried.
It's annoying because sometimes it shows where like they write the characters like 17-year-olds, they act and talk like 17-year-olds, they behave like 17-year-olds. Why not just make them fucking 17-year-olds?
That's why I think to this day the most perfect example of like a perfectly aged and, you know, characters acting age appropriate in a super realistic way was Golden Time, because it was like they were in college and yet they were super immature, like most college students are. You know, like that's a realistic character. And that's why
I love Golden Time.
And that's why that show was so good and it was so immersive, because it's like, I know people who are like this in
It's
college.
such a breath of fresh air to have something in college.
Yeah.
But they were
Fucking college
acting
student.
more like high school students than most high school students were, you know, in other shows. And it's like, it's so fucking ironic.
Yeah, like that's what I feel like. That's why to me, even now, Golden Time is like one of my favorite romances
Golden Time.
in all of
Absolute
anime.
banger.
Just because it actually felt like these were believable characters set in a world that felt like it was based in reality, and not in this anime world where 15-year-olds are
15-year-olds are doing quantum physics.
Yeah,
you know?
15-year-olds are doing quantum physics. Like fucking, I mean, you look at fucking like Naruto and Sasuke, like they.
Hunter x Hunter was another one where I felt like they got the characters' ages like actually reflected their personality. You know.
Yeah.
Like Gon was an idiot, but like a lovable idiot. Like he would like be convinced to do stuff by strangers, like a 12-year-old,
like a child,
like a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no one over the age of 18 is hanging out with Hisoka. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest.
For good reason.
For good reason. Everyone can tell he's a creep. But
For
Gon
their
is
own
like,
protection.
Gon's like, oh, he's talking to me. Okay, I'll talk back. You know, I mean, like, I appreciate it when shows like actually treat the characters like their age.
Yeah, no,
It
because
pissed
like,
me off.
because like a lot of people, like for example Naruto, like a lot of people forget that like in the OG Naruto, they're like
He's like 10.
they're 11 and 12 years old.
Yeah.
And like you look at some of the shit they go through, like Sasuke's like trying to revenge his entire fucking clan at the age of 11. 11. He's doing that, right?
This man's listening to too much My Chemical Romance.
Right,
dude.
right,
Like, get off that shit.
I'll avenge my fucking Big Mac if someone slaps it out of my hand when I'm 11. So I believe that actually. I was a very petty.
Most
11-year-old.
realistic character. Nah.
I don't know, man. I just kind of wish that it would change a little bit. And you know, and that was one of the main reasons why I was a bit harsh on Tokyo Revengers, and that's why I got more annoyed at it because it felt like it was just getting stupid right now.
I mean, I don't know if I'm just like fucking. I've just seen so much anime that I'm just like immune to this shit. But just like it's very rare that a character's age really comes into like any kind of specific plot point or any bearing on the plot itself, because there's no like. It's so hard to tell a character's age in anime based on just their looks and their actions, because the range of anime characters from like 13 to fucking 28, they all look the same and they all act the same. It's almost like
kind of like Japanese people in real life, isn't it?
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Right.
They turn into adults.
Yeah, like you look at a Japanese guy and you're like, you can be 12 or 30.
Did you see as
And
well?
I'm kind of afraid to ask.
Anyway, keeping on anime, I guess.
Okay.
I guess since I finally get to talk about anime,
Go on.
I guess it's like I didn't actually watch much anime this previous season because I don't think there was actually much good things.
Oh god, don't say that. Everyone will get angry. There's no good anime. Unless you...
Have you not learned my lesson?
2021. Well, I think 2022 has been a pretty weak year for anime so far. But I guess like the only real recommendation I would have, since you were going through like last year, is Ranking of Kings.
That's literally the last one I've been meaning to watch of last year, and then I'm done with last year. I've
I mean,
watched
it's
everything.
continuing on to this year. So last year was, I mean, it's a 23 episode show. So last year we only had like 12 episodes.
Oh, I mean, I guess I'll just wait then. I'll
Just wait till it's finished.
It's almost finished, but I feel like it's only going to be a part one of the story. But yeah, Ranking of Kings is fucking incredible.
I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like unironically, a lot of people like Made in Abyss didn't watch it because it looked like a children's cartoon.
No,
I also didn't watch it because it looked like a children's cartoon initially, but it's kind of like the closest thing to like a Ghibli movie, I guess, in terms of like aesthetic and feeling.
Okay. I
really don't like Ghibli movies, but it kind of gave me that kind of, you know when you're like watching an anime fairy tale that kind of feels like that's like I can only point to Ghibli that gives you that same kind of feeling, but that's the kind of feeling it's giving me. But it also is written really, really fucking well. Like it's been a while since I've seen just an anime just this well written and with characters this interesting as well.
Damn.
It's like to me, like the winter season was like basically Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. Everyone was like talking about that.
Yeah.
But like to me, Ranking of Kings is like close to that level of quality in my opinion of just like how good the show is.
Well, I mean, there's also My Dress Up Darling as well, right?
There's also My Dress Up Darling, but that that occupies a different space in my opinion. You know,
that's a different faction.
That's a different faction.
Yeah,
you know?
true. There's the Attack on Titan Demon Slayer like core, and then the fucking My Hero Darling all the way over here.
Yeah. Which is like, it was surprising to see like in Japan, my Ranking of Kings has really like shot up in popularity. I think it's like the most watched anime right now.
It's because there's a lot of voice actors who are saying how good it is. So like they're all like, yeah, this is really fucking good.
There's a lot of power here.
Yeah, they do.